Hola.
Hi.
Bienvenidas a Super Mamás.
Super Mamás.
This is Paulina.
And this is Bricia. We're moms and sisters.
I have two beautiful girls, Krista who's 4 and Sabina who's 1.
And I have a handsome baby boy, Eduardo Santiago. And we welcome you to the Super Mamás Sisterhood.
We're here to help one another, inspire one another, and support each other through the ups and downs of motherhood.
I hope you guys enjoy the show.
Okay, ¿listas?
Here we go.
Hola Super Mamás, this is Paulina, and this week on the show we have Denise Cortez from PairMama.com. She is mom of 6, yes, 6 kids, and 4 of those were homebirths and homeschooled. So we have so much to talk about with her. You do not want to miss this episode. She has so much knowledge to give us. So enjoy the show, guys. Hello. What's with your hello? No energy.
Okay, let's do it again.
Hello.
What's with your hello?
I'm pumped. I'm back.
How is Oaxaca?
You know, this time was very different. And
Because yeah.
No, but I feel like I'm still there. I feel like my soul hasn't left Oaxaca. I kid you not. Like, it's weird.
I left my soul in Oaxaca.
I kid you not. Like, seriously, you know why I think so? I think because this was the first time that I went back with my husband.
And your whole family. Your whole family. You went back as
a family,
not just like you and the girls running around visiting people. But that's hard too, huh? When you go to Oaxaca, and then everyone's like wants to see you,
and you feel bad.
You feel bad because you know, especially when you take your kids. Mm-hmm. Because when I go to Oaxaca, I'm in and out. I'm like 3 days, and the people don't even know I was there.
Yeah.
No, and you were here. You didn't call us. Like, do you have any idea how much stuff I have to get done in 3 days?
It's small, so you see people.
And now with the kid, that's why I'm like dreading the day I go to Oaxaca with the kid, because it's gonna be like a comida every 3 hours for the whole week. Like, tráelo a la casa,
I had to
una comida.
Gather everybody at mom and dad's house, see everybody, have
that's
that
a good
whole
one.
thing, and then
but then people want to host you though.
They do.
People want to cook for, because that's what people from Oaxaca. That's how we do. Yeah. That's what people from Oaxaca are.
I
would get it. Like, if I live in Oaxaca and people would come and be like, why don't you come to my house? Why don't you let me cook for you?
Yeah, and I was like, I'm sorry, but I'm like in the wife mode right now. I can't take decisions on my own. I would blame it on my husband. But it was
also
good.
Because your husband's family is huge, and they live in Oaxaca too.
Huge. Like, we would have to move 20 people at once all the time, which was crazy because we had like that big truck that we have in Oaxaca.
Yeah.
And there was like 8 of us in the front and 12 of them in the back.
Oh, in the
in the what do you call it?
In the cabina, in the trunk, in the truck bed.
Yeah. And, everybody's just like chilling. There was
did you send the girls in the truck bed?
I sent Krista once with me, and my husband and I were holding on to dear life, and everybody was laughing at us because even my husband.
You're like, where's the car seat?
I was like, how do people do it? I asked people, and actually I saw people driving with their babies on their lap, which was crazy. But
in the truck bed?
No, like people were driving with their babies in their lap.
Stop.
Yeah. So
Did you
I was
ask
like,
if that was legal, or?
I mean, it is not legal because they're doing it, and so I didn't see any like body stopping
here's
them.
The thing. Okay, look. Aside from the safety regulation, how does the kid stay still?
They just
without
do.
like touching things.
They just do.
My baby, because I pick up my, like, sometimes if I'm driving home and my husband's walking the baby, like, I'll pick him up in the corner and bring him up the hill with me in the front. And I'm just like super paranoid.
Yeah.
I do it as fun. I do it as like, okay, we're just going up the hill.
So
like,
irresponsible of you, Bricia.
Dude, and making a U-turn at the top of my hill with the baby, it's so hard.
So my kids, they're not used to so much like freedom, right? In the car. And I was in the back seat with them, and Sabina the whole time was like, wee, wee, like when the car would move and she would move with the car, she'd be like, wee, mommy, look, wee. Like they thought it was like a roller coaster, you know?
That's funny.
But yeah, like actually saw, like, you know, those, what do you call those? Like those little motorcycles?
Oh, los
Mopeds?
mototaxis?
No, they're like just a little motorcycle.
Oh, a moped.
Moped. Like 5 people in there, like wife, husband, and 2 kids, like all like rolling down the street. And I was like, damn, like how do they even, I would be like.
Well, also take in consideration they're smaller streets. They're not getting on freeways.
There's a lot. I told you, right, that I went to the doctor with my mother-in-law, and then
there's no stop signs. That I don't get.
Yeah, and then the doctor like picks up the phone, and he was like, "Pero qué tan atropellado está?" And I was like, "What do you mean? It doesn't matter." Like, you know, that happens a lot because people don't.
Wait, what about when you had to weigh Krista?
that was last time. That was last time. I went to
Tell everyone.
I went to. Okay, we're gonna like burn mom and dad again. Mom and dad took me to their personal doctor practitioner in Oaxaca last time that I went there.
Personal doctor practitioner.
So I went.
It is a legit doctor, though.
It is a legit doctor. Yeah. So they went. They had to weigh in. They had to weigh in Krista, but they didn't have a child thing, a scale. So the nurse went in. They took her measure, and then she hugged my daughter, and then she hopped in again, and then they just did the math, and we're like, okay, that's how much she weighs.
They took the nurse's weight first on her own, then the weight with her quoting Krista, and then they subtracted.
And then that was it.
And they're like, okay, she's that.
Yeah.
That was funny. That was really funny.
But anyway. It was great. I mean, Sabina rode a horse and she loved it. Like, I was so amazed because, you know, also there's no protection, or, you know, right here they put like all these belts and things on the kids, helmets, and over there it was just like she was just hopping on the horse. And that was great. We went to a really nice place, a river. We ate. It was just really, really, really fun. But I feel like it was not enough time. And I think because I was not in a hurry, like every time I go, my husband gets sick and he's like, come back, you know? So like this time I didn't have that. And I just feel like it was not enough time. Like now I get Lola why she's there for like a month. You know? I'm like, damn, how come I can be there for like a month? I don't know if I could be there for a month, but I was like, next time I'll be there for like at least 10 days. And I'm sure that won't even be enough. Maybe you can
have your next baby there. And you can stay there for the 40 días.
Maybe.
I mean, you want to have a home birth, don't you?
That would be cool. I actually went to Calpulalpan.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that, and I was like, oh, maybe like it would be a cool thing for me to give birth here, and like, you know, and then stay and then get taken care of.
Yeah.
And then there'll be
everybody.
And you can just chill for like 2 months. Yeah. And then come back to life.
Maybe.
That would really be a retreat. I mean,
that's a good idea.
Yeah, and you want to have, which is what we're going to talk about today.
Yes.
What a great segue.
Actually, you know,
are you proud of me? I think this is the first time I did like a legit segue into our next conversation.
I actually came more convinced to have a home birth after talking to our friend Adriana over there. And I was like, I can do this. I can definitely do this. So I was excited about today.
Oh, I know. You know, today we have a great guest. Okay, so I met her and I was like, so you have 6 kids, huh? I was like on purpose? Like you purposefully had 6 children?
She has 6 kids.
Denise is here of pairmama.com. We are so happy to have her here. When our junior producer, Betsy, told us she had confirmed, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to hear about like everything she's doing. Just anything that she does aside from having 6 children, I think seems like a huge accomplishment. And not just that, but she gave birth 4 times at home.
Yeah.
4 times.
When it wasn't hip.
Yeah.
Before it was hip.
Before it was a thing to do.
Yeah.
It's funny. Fernando was like, so who are you guys interviewing today? I'm like, this girl, her name is Denise. She has a blog called pairmama.com. He was like, cool. I was like, she has 6 kids. He was like, what? I was like, yeah, she gave birth at home 4 times. He's like, what?
Just asked me, you did that on purpose?
All right,
that's so cool though.
We are going to learn so much from her. So let's take a break. When we come back, We have Denise from pairmama.com.
Yay!
Mom of 6.
Mom of 6. That's all you need to know.
That's all.
That's all. That's it.
All right, we'll be right back. And we're back. Wait, so how far are your kids apart? We're going to just jump in it again, okay? Hi, Denise. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, wait, I'm going to ask you to just get super close to the mic. Don't worry about your
don't really
breathing.
heavy breathing. Okay.
Don't worry about it. You got to be like up on it. Like
You gotta
up
make love to
yeah,
it. You
up
gotta
on the
kiss
mic.
it.
Like as close as you can, actually.
Okay.
Hi,
Hi.
Denise. Okay. I know we're going to talk about home birthing, okay?
Okay.
But like I can't just be like, hey, so you have 6 children and like not go deeper into it because
I feel like everybody that knows me is kind of desensitized by the fact that I have 6, so they don't really ask me anymore. But it's usually a conversation starter. So my youngest is 11.
Okay, wait, hold on 1 second. Here's what
Okay.
I want to see. I
Okay.
want you to give me the names and birthdays and see how fast you remember this.
Girl, I can tell you like their birth weights, everything. Okay, so
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I don't even know my 2 kids.
my youngest name is Xiomara, and she was born on August 5th, 2005. My other daughter, Maya, she was born on February 23rd, 2004. My son, Cyan, he is 14. He was born on April 20th, 2002. Solomon, he just turned 16. September 19th, 2000. Okay. Diego is 17. January 10th, 1999. And my oldest just turned 19. Noah, September 9th, 1997.
You have a lot of Septembers.
Yeah.
So
that meant that was like
How are you
Thanksgiving.
here? Wait, how are you? Oh,
grooviness was happening. That's
wait,
what that
how
meant.
are you here? It's September right now. How are you here?
Well,
Don't you have like
Birthday parties. to
birthday
plan?
party? Oh no, but they're a little older.
They just
huh?
we just celebrated them like last week. So we're
Oh,
good.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're
okay,
good.
okay.
Yeah. So we just celebrated the 2 birthdays. So we're good until January. We're good.
Oh, wow.
No more
That's a
birthdays.
lot of party planning growing up.
It is. I mean, now it's not so much like parties like when they were younger, like piñatas and everything. Now it's just kind of like, let's go get pizza. Let's go have a bonfire. That's, you know,
that's a good idea.
It's super chill now.
Did you have all your things for parties and then you just bring them out every time? Was it the same thing?
I mean, it's a lot of times it's just family because I have a big family and it's just always, if we just invite like brother, sister, niece, and nephews, that's a party. right
Yeah.
there. So,
I mean,
yeah.
just inviting your kids. That's a party.
Exactly.
Wait, okay. So
So you were asking about their age
you said
differences,
2005 and 2004. Mm-hmm. Girl, wait.
Wow.
How, dude? You're
So
what?
my oldest were
That
all,
always trips me out. I'm
Yeah.
like, did you like not have a break? Was it that one time? Or what?
Yeah. My oldest 2 kids, my 2 sons, they're 15 months apart.
Oh, wow.
And my youngest 2 are 15 months apart. So those were my 2 closest. Everybody else is
So
about
you were just pregnant for like 3?
like a legit long time. I was just, like I told you, it was just almost like a routine. Like you get a baby to a certain level of diapers and then it starts the process all over again. You bring the crib back out, you do I mean, it was a good rhythm that we had for a long time. I mean, it wasn't, I used to cry sometimes like, oh, I'm never going to be invited to go anywhere. No one's ever going to invite us to like go to their house for dinner. And I used to think of those ridiculous things. Like,
no, but because you're like
no one's
okay,
going to want
yeah,
us over. I
yeah.
have 4 little boys. Like that's crazy. But I mean, we survived. So.
You do get
No one's
invited.
ever going to babysit for me.
Exactly. And thank God my mom lives like less than 10 minutes away. My brother and my sister lived really close. So
Did it get to a point where we were just kind of like, oh, you're pregnant, cool? Like, was it ever?
Oh no, my last 2, I remember like low-key, like I just didn't say anything for a while. My last baby, because I was, you know, my mom was so suspicious. She was like, why are you on the couch? Why are you laying down? It's the middle of the day. And I'm just like, I'm pregnant again. Yeah. Yeah. So
It wasn't even like congratulations anymore, huh?
No, it was because my family, they love my kids. And,
Yeah.
you know, they saw that they were a blessing, but I think they were worried about the toll it was taking on me. You know,
Right.
because you know how you are the first few months pregnancy, you're always tired.
Yeah.
And then when you're chasing after toddlers, you're still breastfeeding. So, yeah.
I mean, when I was pregnant the first time, and like the first, God, I think 6 months were so hard on me.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, I looked dead. And
did.
I felt sick the entire first 6 months. Like, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, yay, I'm pregnant. It was like throwing up. I couldn't smell food. And then I remembered my sister, and I was like, how could she be pregnant with a child?
Yeah.
You know,
Like,
I
how
was-
could you be pregnant? And then I think about that every time I'm hungover. Like, maybe this is what it's like.
I was blessed that I had really good pregnancies. I didn't get like excessively sick. I looked really good. Like, you know, some pregnant ladies are like, woo, girl, you know, you're not looking too cute these days. But I mean, I always felt like I had like a glow. I felt super, like, I just felt good to be pregnant.
okay.
So it really suited me. I think if it was really hard.
That's why you did it 6 times?
Probably, yeah, I think so. My husband always like, you look so pretty when you're pregnant and stuff. And that's what would happen. 6 times.
But I know what you mean. Like, you know, like I sometimes when I see, like, right now my kids are about to turn 2 and 5. And I'm like, my 5-year-old's like big.
Yeah.
And my 2-year-old's not a baby anymore. So we've been having a lot of, do you guys want another baby conversations, you know, with them? And they're like, yeah, baby. And my daughter's like, I want a brother. So I think like I miss the baby, the pregnancy. Like I legitimately miss it, like, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
weird, you know? But I feel
do.
like
just
I
like
want
when
it.
they're like your baby, like you're their whole world, and they just want to, they melt, you know, they
Yes.
fit like perfectly. I don't know if you notice, like your baby fits so perfectly, like in your arms.
Yes.
When you have another baby, you're like, you don't know how to hold them right, and that baby just like melts into your own baby. And I
Stop. You're going to make her want another one.
no, the factory is closed for business. It's done. That's it. Yeah. No.
No, that's good.
Okay, enough with the baby talk. I know. I'm sure you get that all the time, huh?
Yeah. I do.
Yeah, you're like, I'm done. You're like, I've heard all the jokes. I know. I have 6 kids. I get
Yeah.
it. So now, you're not, but you also gave birth in your home 4 times.
I did. I know, it was crazy. My first 2 sons I had in the hospital, and did not really like that experience at all. I was young. I think, I mean, this was like in the late 90s, right? So it's a little different. Hospital policies were different. I just didn't like the way I was treated. And I think also because I was young, I was Latina. I had just married my husband, but I did not have his last name yet. So I kind of looked like, oh, she's, you know, doesn't have a husband. She's here having, you know, this baby. She's on Medi-Cal because, like, you know, I was young. I got state aid, whatever. And I just I don't appreciate the way I was treated. I just felt like I had the choice. I didn't have any kind of options. It was kind of like, you're going to do this, and I'm going to put this in your IV, and you're going to lay in this position. And
Right.
I just remember it being torture. Like, this is awful. I don't ever want to do this again. I don't like it. I just felt like it should be a beautiful experience to have your baby, but not if somebody's telling you, you know, I'm like, I don't feel good being this way. I don't feel good being in this position. Can I move? No, you can't. You got to stay like that. You have a fetal monitor on. You have an IV. You have a catheter. You can't do anything, you know. So after I had my second son, I just, you know, I had that on my heart for a while. Like,
But were both experiences the same?
they were, I mean,
Traumatic?
yeah, I didn't feel good about it. You know, it was, I don't want to say like birth trauma, because there are women that experience like real birth trauma, but that just left me feeling just like, this is not good. This is not the way it's supposed to be, you know? And, I remember watching this show. Do you remember, A Birth Story on TLC?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I would like take my 2 kids. I used to live behind my parents, and I would go into their house because they were at work, and I'd watch their cable. And I remember watching, you know, A Baby Story, and this woman gave birth on her bed, like at home with her kids around her. And I was just like, that blew my mind. Like, I could not believe that someone actually did that.
Right.
I was like, is that even legal? Is that, you know, is that right? Is
people
that
do that?
healthy? Can people do that? But I could not like get that image out of my mind. It was this woman. She looked so like blissful. I mean, she was in labor, so she's still in pain, but she looked like so happy to have her husband there. She had her other kids by her. and she gave birth, and I was just like, that just stuck with me. And I was just like, I want to try to do that. I want to try. This was 2000.
This is 2 kids in too.
This is 2 kids in. This is 2000. Like, okay, I don't know if that would ever happen or how that would happen. And then when I got pregnant, I remembered that show, and I was like, I'm gonna really look into it. Like, what? I don't even know where to start. At that time, I wasn't even online. I looked in the phone book. I opened the yellow pages, and I looked under M and looked under midwife, and found a midwife that was in my area. And I called her up, and I was just like, I can't even believe I'm doing this. Like, okay. And I had this conversation. She was super nice. Come and meet me. And I talked to my husband. He was just like, whoa, what are you talking about? My husband's usually, he's like my roll dog. He will, if I say, honey, I feel like, I want to do this, he's always open to, okay, well, let's check it out. So he was never, are you crazy? We're not going to do this. He was just like, is it sanitary? That was his question to me, was, is it sanitary? And I'm like, well, let's check it out. So that's what happened. We ended up meeting with the midwife, and I really liked her. And she like broke down, just how it was going to go, how my appointments were going to go, and all that stuff. And every month I went to her condo, and she had this like spare bedroom, and she did all my vitals in her bedroom. And she like palpated, which is, when they like kind of feel on your tummy and feel the baby and stuff. And did my blood pressure. She gave me like supplements, like natural herbs for varicose veins or heartburn. And so I really liked that natural aspect to it all. And because my thing was, birth is natural. It's not a medical event.
Yeah, it's not a medical procedure.
I want to be, my body is made to do this. So let's, give it like the best atmosphere for that to happen. So that's what we did.
What was the cost in that 2000?
I distinctly recall it was $3,600.
Okay.
Oh.
And in 2000, and she was really cool about payments and stuff, because that is not covered under HMO at all, unless you have a PPO, which I didn't have at the time. So what I did was I had an HMO, and I would use them for my blood work and any tests I had to run. And I just got my records, and I took it to my midwife so she could review it. So I did both for the first pregnancy. I did both, just like as a backup too, in case I needed it.
Yeah, that was what I was going to ask you. Like, could you do both?
I did. Yeah, because you first of all, you want to make sure you have, it's a low risk pregnancy. Your high blood pressure is okay, because you're doing it at home. There is that risk that something can happen. So you definitely have to have like that emergency plan in place, have like explicit trust in the person that you're going to have deliver your baby. And although this is the first person, like literally I had the only midwife
Phone book.
Yeah, in the phone book. But I looked her up, and she had like a website, I remember, and she had like testimonials and stuff. And I was like, okay, well,
I should call these referrals.
let's try this out. But it's totally different. Like when you're in the hospital, everything's taken care of for you. When you're at home, you're buying everything. You're buying your like your home birth kit that has all the little medical thingies that the midwife would need. So to clip your umbilical cord, Chuck's pads, those cute little like gauzy, sexy underwear that they give you in the hospital, all that you have to buy beforehand and have at home.
Oh.
And it's messy too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like nurses clean up everything around, they make you don't even know a birth has happened. But at home, you're doing this all by yourself. So
Right. I didn't think about that.
Who cleaned up after your husband?
Well, my mom was there, and my sister was there, and so everybody kind of
helps out.
Yeah, everybody did that. The first time was just I didn't know what to expect. Like it was. It's going to take long. It's going to take, a short amount of time. And I remember, waiting a long time before I called the midwife to finally come over. I was like, okay, I think I'm ready. And I was in a birth tub too. So
that was my next question. Did you do birth tubs the next 4 times?
I did. I did. Oh yeah. Like I always say, I will never give birth on dry land ever. Oh. I don't recommend anybody give birth on dry land because the water helps you so much. Oh my gosh. It's like a natural epidural.
Right.
You want to be
in you're floating
water. Yes.
kind of.
Although with my first home birth, I had to get out of the tub because they couldn't. So every so often I would like get up and they'd check me with the fetal monitor and stuff, and they couldn't get a good read. So they're like, you might have to step out. So I stepped out, and they said like maybe like combination of like the temperature change or whatever. Like he just like boop, he dropped down. I squatted on the floor in the living room and gave birth to him in the living room floor. So, yeah. So it was crazy.
But was it everything that you expected it to be?
It was. I mean, I thought it was beautiful because we could control the environment. So we had the lights were dim, you know. I think we had some candles at some point. My husband had music, you know, he had like a warm towel and he was like putting it on my forehead. And then everybody, like my mom would come in every so often, my sister, they'd come in and kind of rub my back and everything. And it was just like you can control who was in and out. Because, you know, when you're giving birth, I don't know if you guys feel like I don't, like there's some people I don't even want them like near me.
Right.
Like just stay away. Or just noises. I don't want like bright lights. And so you
just random people there.
Yeah. And they're like, what are you doing here? I'm dumping
Yeah.
out your trash can. Or, you know, and you're just like, why are you in here? Because I feel like birth is it's a sacred event.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
for sure. Totally.
So to be there at home, like with people that I love and people that I choose to be there. And, you know, he came out and it was just like immediately I got to hold him and like, you know, and I had my other son who was barely 2.
Was he
like,
there?
He came after. He's like, like, who is in your arm, Mom? And I have this little one. And so I was like, wow, it was awesome. It was.
In your other births, have your kids witnessed any of them?
No, it was kind of too stressful for that. Because, you know, I'm in labor, I'm not feeling too good. And to have other kids kind of floating around. So they usually would get picked up and like shipped off to grandma's, like almost right when I started going into labor. I think with my last baby, my oldest was 8 and he was asleep in his bed. So he like popped out and saw her and he was like, oh, she's cute, Mom. He gave her a kiss on the forehead and he just went back to sleep. But for the most part, they were always gone. And,
Plus, what if they're like, Mommy, I want cereal?
oh my gosh. I
That
know.
would totally be my kids.
One of my kids, I remember being like in the shower, you know, while I was in labor, and my daughter was like stripping off her clothes. She was like 2, and she was like, I want to get in, Mommy. So she was in the shower with me, and I was like, but you know what? It totally, her presence helped me because it kind of helped me to focus like, okay, all this pain is for a purpose because I'm going to have a baby and this is, you know, my daughter and I love her. And so that helped. That always helped to have.
Yeah.
But just for a little bit. Then after I was like, you got to go. You got to go.
Did your midwife also encapsulate your placenta, or did you guys do anything with that?
She put it in a Ziploc bag and they popped it in my freezer. So to do whatever I wanted to do with it. So we dug it in the ground and planted a tree on it.
Oh, that's nice.
So I have like 4 trees.
Oh, stop! Really?
Well, because we moved. So the first, we moved to our new house after I had my first home birth, and we took that placenta in the Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer again. So when we got our new house, I put all those. We all planted them in the ground.
That's really cool.
Oh, you have 4 trees in the back, and
in the front. I have them in the front and the back. Yeah, we do.
That's really cool.
Have you seen any? Like, do they? I mean,
Yeah, all my trees have bloomed, so they're all placenta power, I guess. But we had that first placenta in the freezer for a long time.
really?
Like, just don't look at the placenta. Just
But
get the carne asada in the back. Just ignore that.
They do last a long time. Remember, somebody
do.
mentioned that even when you encapsulate it, like you can give it to your child when they're older, right?
I never tried that. Yeah, I didn't try that.
Our friend Linda told us that it lasts for years, just that they can actually they're like, it's great when you go through menopause, then you need to take them. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I can't believe I wasted a placenta.
I wasted 2 good placenta.
I think the hospital kind of gives you a hard time about it, though, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
it's considered and it's illegal to bury your placentas because they're
Really?
considered biohazardous waste. So we were supposed to pay $40 with the city to get them disposed, but we didn't. We just stuck them in the dirt. So
Wow, I didn't.
Yeah.
What?
So why is it
That's
that?
I have no idea.
What?
Your body.
But it is.
Okay, so then did you do the same? Did you hire the same midwife all 4 times, or did you change it up?
So that first midwife had an assistant, and we kind of bonded during that first home birth, and her name was Dell. I just loved her. She was a super nice lady. She had 10 kids.
Oh my God.
Okay, 10 of her own kids. So when I got pregnant again, my mind automatically just went to Dell. So I called Dell. She was like, I'll be your midwife. So she was my midwife for the next 3 babies. And you know what's crazy? She gifted me with just her whole service for all 3 births. She was just like, I consider you a friend, and I love that you're having this large family, and your family is a blessing to me. And she did not charge me for the next 3 home births that I had. Yeah.
She was kind of like, girl, I know.
I think so.
You're like, you're having 6 kids. I got 10. You know, I feel you.
She's like, I'm going to do you a solid, and I'm not going to charge you.
But she's probably, I mean, there's that whole level of like a different sort of bond as a mother when you guys, do you know, like when a mom has 3 kids and meets another mom with 3 kids, it's like not just that bond that you guys are each like both moms, but it's like, I feel you.
That's why I love
3.
midwifery, you know, just
like if you met a mom with 6 kids, wouldn't you like have a different sort of like just connection with her? Like, girl, I got 6 too.
I know we should
get
it
together
is.
and like start a daycare.
I just feel like as the midwife, so much different from like OBGYN because just their level of care is so different, and it's so much more intimate. And I mean, I could tell you, they go all over your body. They know everything about you. I had my midwife stand out after I had one of my births. I'm in the shower. She's standing out there, like checking to make sure I'm okay. And I'm like, this blood clot, is this normal? And like, I stick my head out of the shower. Yeah, that's normal. It's okay. You know, and I'm like, okay. I slept nights in my underwear, not even with underwear, with a t-shirt and no underwear. We slept on the same sofa because I was going into labor, and then like my contractions stopped, and so she came and she spent the night just to make sure, you know, everything was okay. So
oh wow,
that's great.
But like I said, the model of care that a midwife gives you is so much different. And for me, that helped me kind of like think about like my ancestors, and I felt like, you know, womanhood and just how many years, centuries women gave birth like this. Okay. They didn't go to a hospital. They didn't have a doctor, you know, and it wasn't medically driven. It was a natural thing. These women cared for taking care of women, and that's what they did. And I was just like, and I was so drawn to that. And I was just like, this is what I want, you know, not just for me, but for my babies, because I want them to be born in an atmosphere where their mom is like calm, their mom is relaxed. It's just like a peaceful environment, and I'm not super stressed out, and I'm not like dying of pain, because it hurt, but it was a different kind of pain. Like, it's pain with a purpose. So when I'm in the hospital, I felt like things were inflicted upon me, which made it more uncomfortable, more painful. At home, you're like, I know it's going to hurt. I know transition's going to hurt. I know I'm going to feel the ring of fire, but all that means is I'm going to get a baby after this, and then I'm not going to feel like that anymore, you know? So that helped me control like my pain levels and stuff, and just like having the endurance to do it.
I think with my first pregnancy, I was so lucky that by chance I got placed with a midwife throughout my pregnancy, and that was amazing. Like, it was completely different. And when my daughter was born, she was on call, and she totally made the difference in my, even though it was like a long labor and it was very bad, and you know, I suffered a lot. Towards the end, she was the one that got me through it. If it would have been a doctor, they would have sent me to C-section right away. But she was so patient, and she prayed with me, and she was there, and she was so patient, and she made all the difference, because at the end of the day, I had my daughter naturally, and she was the one that did it. Like, she said, no, we're gonna do this, and she was excellent. So I think after that, I started like being more open about it. The second time, I didn't even have time. But, you know, I'm really thinking about the third one too, about that. So yeah, they do make a world of difference.
They do. When I had my 5th child, so that was my daughter, it was like a super fast labor, like scary fast, where a contraction woke me up at like 2 a.m. and like by 4, I was already starting, like, I need to push already. It was super fast. So remember crying like, oh, my midwife gets here in time. So it's like 4:00 in the morning or whatever. And I'm like waiting for her to show up. It's just my husband and me. That's it. I'm like in the birth tub. He's pouring hot water in there or whatever. And I'm like, please, Del, make it. You know, I don't want to deliver this baby by ourselves. And she like walks in. I remember feeling so much peace. Like, okay, oh my gosh, she's here. And she had such a calm spirit about her. She's like, okay, I'm here now. You can have the baby, you know? And I was just like, oh, thank God. And when my daughter came out and I pushed her out, like her head came out. And then her body, you know, the baby's body usually rotates. So almost like a key in a lock. Her body didn't rotate. So it was just like her shoulders just got stuck. And I remember like I was like squatting in the birth tub and I looked at Del and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this. I was like,
in that very calm voice.
Yeah. And she was just like, oh, yes, you are. You're going to do it. I was like, I need to sit down. She's like, if you sit down, you'll sit on your baby's head. So you can do this. And she goes, here, let me help you. And she like got her, like, she's like arm deep in the water. And she like got my baby's body, like her head, and like moved her a little bit, just like a key in a lock. And then shoop, and then she like came out. But she was always like, I always felt like she was so capable and like I was in such good hands. And that gave me like, okay, I would feel calm and like, I know I could do this. Like I never ever had like that fear in the back of my mind, like, okay, what if something happens? And what if there's an emergency?
Yeah,
when
you have to, go to the have that.
I was always visualizing like that, the end game, the baby in my arms and all my family around me smiling. That was always like in my sight, always. Just trying to visualize
and it takes a special person to be a midwife, you know, like,
oh yeah,
you have to have
it's a calling for sure, total, because that's like a sacred thing to ushering in like lives. And I told my daughter that, because my daughter Maya, she's 12, she had told me that I want to be a midwife, Mom. And I was just like, that is definitely a calling, because you are ushering in live spirits. You are, you know, you're welcoming them into this world. So that is definitely a calling. And I know I had 6 kids and people have asked me, why don't you be a midwife? And I'm like, no, that's not my calling at all. No way.
Yeah, I've met 2 and they're all so calm and peaceful. And you talk to them and they just give you that sense of security and, you know, like, it's okay, it's gonna be fun. You're like, nah, it's not. And they're like, no,
so that would be my encouragement to you or anybody that is like thinking about home birth. Like, really find someone that you gel with and that you trust, that has a lot of experience, that's delivered a lot of babies, and ask like a ton of questions, because you need to have that faith. And I mean, I feel like with doctors, we're kind of like, oh, we know they're a doctor, where they're going to do what they have to do. But
True.
You know,
true. Because also when you're giving labor, like if your doctor's not in, right? If
it's anybody,
anyone, anybody comes,
doctor.
it's like whoever is on duty.
Yeah. That's what I don't like.
It's like, oh, look, we have that spare doctor in the corner that can come and give birth to. And I hadn't really thought about that until right now that you mentioned that. Like, it's the person who's been seeing you all this time and who's there with you and talking to you.
Yeah, that was like a rude slap to the face when my first baby. Because I thought all these months I've been seeing this OBGYN, and we, you know, for the 5 minutes we have our visit, and then he was, they weren't even on call, and it was just somebody that I totally didn't even know. And I was just like, okay, is this how it always is? You know, I didn't even know, because I was totally clueless about everything, childbirth, the medical, you know, field, everything. I didn't even, you know, so you really have to learn.
That is true.
Things.
That is true. I never thought about that.
You do.
You have to like trust the person, because both times with me, it was a different doctor, but the one time it was a midwife, and the second one, it was by chance my OBGYN. So I did know her, but I haven't thought about like, what if it was somebody else that I didn't know and didn't know me?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a break for now, and then we come back. We'll come back. We'll probably talk a little bit more about, because I want to talk to you about homeschooling too, because you've homeschooled.
Okay.
And then our Super Mama tip or pick of the week. So much to talk to you about.
So much. Maybe I love your writing,
you know
by
what?
the way.
Maybe you should start a podcast.
I know my
And
husband
if you do,
Totally.
let us know. We'll totally whatever you need, because I feel like you have so much
yes.
information to give. Like, one show is not enough. Like,
I agree.
do you know what I mean? You've gone
Yeah,
through
totally.
so much, and I really encourage everyone to check out your blog, paramama.com. I'm sure a lot of your fans are listening. But your writing, that my sister was saying, is absolutely beautiful. Like,
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
really, I don't know where you find the time now with 6 kids to write, but it's great. And you were a Riverside local. I was just at Riverside.
Where are you?
By the way, like,
what were you doing out there?
I went to speak at a panel at the convention center.
Okay, yeah.
And then my friend invited me. Because she was producing too the event. She was staying at the Mission Inn.
Mission Inn, yeah.
And she was like, "You have to look at this hotel, Bricia." And I walked in there and I was like, "Where am I right now?"
Yeah.
She was like, and everything around there, and like that little town that you guys have there, But I was like, this is Riverside? Like,
It's Riverside.
this is not, like, Riverside does not get enough cred. Like, or maybe they
yeah.
do, and like, I'm just not aware of it. But I think, like,
I live about 5 minutes away from the Mission Inn, and they have lots of really cool galleries, lots of restaurants opening up, and
yeah, a lot of like high-end boutiques.
It's definitely getting its day now. I mean, when it first started out, it was a little dry out there. You know, there's like horses and stuff, and it's built up a lot. And I've been there for the past 19 years.
Oh, shout out to Riverside. Yeah,
For reals.
yeah, Riverside.
951.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I told my husband, because like we've gone, because I know we're not gonna have time to do any traveling from now until the end of the year. I'm like, we should at least have like a staycation, like a couple of weekends from now on.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been looking into some like local hotels, like that are like really just have some sort of appeal.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went over there, I'm like,
It's beautiful.
and he was like, Rivers, and I'm like, trust. It's like really beautiful there.
It's really
I
and you
cannot
still have to
even
travel. So it seems like you're
How far
going
away is it?
an
It's
hour.
about an hour away without traffic. Yeah.
Yeah, an hour.
Yeah, it's beautiful there. It's
Anyway, shout out to Riverside 951.
Yes.
So you homeschool too.
I did for a while. I did.
Did you do the non-schooling that people are doing
I
nowadays?
did do that. I
Awesome.
did that for
Awesome.
my
We are-
unschooling.
Okay,
Yeah.
unschooling. It's not non-schooling. Unschooling. And I've been telling a lot of people about that too, because even before I had a child, I was like so against homework my entire life. And like now there's this whole like no homework movement that I'm all about it right now. I'm like, yes, that's all I care about. All I care about is no homework. That's my whole thing.
Yeah, not everybody fits in like a traditional school mold.
Right.
So I recognized that right away with my 3 oldest boys. I was like, they will torture a teacher. This is not. I'm just gonna leave. You know. So we started doing like the flashcards when they were really young, and we just.
When did you start unschooling?
Pretty much from the beginning. I mean, I have a son who has ADD. He's 17 now, but at the time, like to teach him how to read, and I always tell this story. He was going to hate me for even telling the story. Diego, we would do phonics, so he would do the sounds and stuff, and he could not do. He had to always do like a sound and then an act with his phonics. So A was apple, and he'd go, and he'd like crunch on an apple. Or a C was a cat, meow. Fox was, he'd make like little fox, like a little weird sounds. And to teach him how to write was so hard. Like he would not do workbooks. He didn't like to do that. So what I would just let him do, I saw him doing this one day. He got like a can of like garlic salt or something from the pantry. And then he got a notebook, and he just sat there and wrote like everything that was on this jar.
Oh.
He would just
That's so ADD.
Okay, so I was like, okay, he's learning how to write. He's learning how to spell. Okay, he doesn't want to do the workbooks that I'm going to provide him. But if he's doing that, I'm just going to leave
Yeah,
him be.
that's-
And he has like the best penmanship out of all my kids. And that's how he learned how to write.
Wow. That's great.
So
That's awesome.
I
That's a
mean,
good tip for everybody.
it's
Good for you, Diego. That is not something to be embarrassed about.
and he's graduating in January. But at some point, I had to kind of transition
Do they go to high school?
Yes,
Okay.
they do. So half of my kids,
And that's a pretty common thing I've
Yeah.
heard within the unschooling community. They do it up until high school, and that's sort of
because they do at some point, once they get to like a mature level where like, okay, I think they can handle like books, and I think they can handle in a classroom setting. So, and then also they need to have some kind of like accredited school, or I'm like, what if they wanted to go to college or something? They need to have proof of that. So I put them in a charter school where they were able to do like a learning center, and they were able to get like history and algebra and physical science and stuff that I'm not good at teaching, because I hit like a wall where I'm like, okay, I can't teach anymore. I can't go beyond this because I'm not good at math. I'm not great at history, you know? So I was smart enough to know to get other people and I think that's what you have to know, like know your limits. You can do like kindergarten to 6th grade, awesome, with just like your own means, and then after that it kind of like bumps up a level. You're like, I can't do this anymore. And I hit that wall. And my younger kids wanted to go to public school too. I was working more. My blog started to get, you know, a little more demanding and profitable for me. So I was like, okay, now mom has like a real job now. So they started going to charter schools too, but now this year they're actually like in a middle school. So they're in a public school. I'm not also, that excited.
No, but also I think like you invest so much in the schooling that you have to trust them that like with the foundation you've given them, they're going to be mature enough to be outspoken in class, to tell the teacher like, I don't agree with you. And for you to, and when you come in, you're going to have to be like, hey, listen, okay, it's that you invest so much in early education, but once they get to a higher level of public education, you've invested so much that you have to make like trust that your children are like have all the tools that they to speak up, because ultimately I think that's what it is in high school. You have to ask questions. You can't just sit there and take whatever the teachers say for Bible. Like you can't you have to question.
I think it gives myself and them a stronger sense of self, because I'm like, look, if the grade doesn't really mean that much, okay, your test scores don't really mean that much, okay, I said this is just like a temporary step in your life journey, and then that's it, you know. And if it doesn't work out for us this year, we'll try something else. So I've always been flexible. We'll try this school. If it doesn't work out, then we'll do something else. But I love homeschooling. I love homeschoolers. But at some point for me, it just became too expensive to do it at home, and I didn't have that time that I needed to devote to it. You know, because it's definitely a commitment, a huge commitment. Yeah.
Wow. You're so inspiring. You should totally do your podcast. Okay.
You should.
Let's take a break. Okay, let's take another break. This was like a little segment. Let's take a break, and then we'll come back with our tips or picks. I'm sure you have so many.
Okay, yeah, I do.
Right, we'll be right back. Okay. What are we going to do right now? Oh, our Super Mama Pick or Tip. Oh, wait. Okay. Welcome back to our Super Mama Pick or Tip for the week segment. Do you have a tip or a pick, Paulina?
I think what I'm going to do this time is again, I think I did it once last year, but I'm just going to say it again, which saved our life. The little busy bags for the kids when you fly.
Okay.
But this time I did too, because last time my baby was just like a tiny baby, and so I did age appropriate things for each one. And we didn't talk about this, but our flight to Oaxaca was a nightmare. Sabina did not sleep the whole time. But on the way back, we slept, and then once they woke up, they were finding something to do. We opened the bags. We had coloring books. We had crayons. And then for the baby, I had build things to build her. And they were happy. They were sitting on the plane, and nobody was doing anything. Nobody was hating on me.
I always smile when I see moms on the airplanes with little kids. I'm always like, "You're okay. It's okay. It's just a baby crying."
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's already so stressful.
And I feel so bad for them too. I'm like, don't feel embarrassed. Like,
I didn't. On the way there,
I feel like giving them thing like it's cool if your kid cries. Like, I'm a mom. Don't worry about it. You know.
I've had parents that give out things to other people so they won't feel bad. But I'm like, it's my kids. You don't like it? Get off the plane.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't like your snoring. What are you gonna,
Yeah. So busy bags, guys. That was like really, really good. It just saved our life, and snacks in the busy bags too. And that was it.
Well, we should do like a super Mama busy bag. Like,
that'd
the things that you put in there.
Them. I haven't unpacked them.
Okay, take a picture and put it on our Instagram. All right, Denise. Hit
Yes,
us with
ma'am.
your picks and your tips, because every time a mom of 6 speaks, you got to listen.
Yes.
Okay.
So my tip is a natural tip because everybody that knows me knows, okay, I'm a little bit crunchy granola.
Granola?
I don't even know what that means.
You know what? I don't know. I just if it's like natural and like a hippie-ish, I'm like, okay, I'm down with that.
Okay,
I'm
cool,
good
cool.
with that.
Oh, wait.
You had 4 Homebirths. Yes.
Yeah,
I came back with a bunch of teas and pomadas and
There
things.
you go.
Yeah, from
See?
Mexico. Yeah.
You're so
Okay.
funny. Is that what people are like that are called crunchy granolas? Or
Yeah.
did you make that up?
My brother makes fun of me because I have 3 pairs of Birkenstocks. He's like, I'm really questioning your choice of footwear right now, and I'm like, don't hate on my Birkenstocks.
Wait, do you happen to have a leather one size 9, only the left side?
I heard that where you lost your shoe. I would be so angry and bitter if I lost.
But it was a Birkenstock.
Oh my gosh.
It was it's a size 9.5. It's a leather strap, and
I
it's the
have a
left
size
side.
9, but I need the other one, so I can't give it to you. I wear them.
I just had to
Sorry.
ask in case you come across one.
So my tip is for new moms. Okay, so when you bring your baby home and you have their little umbilical stump, and usually the doctor tells you put alcohol on it to dry it up, or don't put alcohol on it because what did you put on your baby when
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing?
I think they're saying no anymore.
So nothing. Okay, but sometimes it gets gooey.
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
it
Smells.
sticks on there. Yeah, it gets all nasty. If you get dried rosemary, so even the kind that from the kitchen, like ground rosemary, you can get a little bit and you can sprinkle it on the stump like a couple of times a day, and that thing will dry up so fast and it won't get stinky, it won't get gooey, but it dries up and it will literally fall off in 3 days.
Oh,
What?
wow. I did not know that.
Look at you, crunchy granola.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, dried rosemary, you can just go get it from the supermarket and just sprinkle. It's like that green, and you just sprinkle it on there, and it totally
And it
will
smells
take
good.
it. Yeah, because rosemary is natural and it's antibacterial and microbial, and so it will kill any kind of bacteria that it has.
And actually, rosemary is so easy to grow. It grows so easily. It's the one plant in my house that never dies.
but you'd have to grind it yourself into a little powder. But yeah,
the one plant.
I know.
that's my tip.
That's a great tip. I had no
I
idea.
love it.
I had no idea about that. And my mom was always like, "Ay, se va a infectar." Like,
Yeah,
so
that's a
it's
good one. She's
such
my
a
mom's
good-
gonna
I'm
love
gonna
that
give it to
one.
her.
Okay, so I have actually a couple of picks. One is an email that we got from her name is Frances Sauceta, and she works with readconmigo.org, which I had never heard of. She reached out to us, but it's a website. It's called readconmigo.org, and they give out free bilingual books.
Oh,
They're free.
I've worked with them before. Yeah.
Oh, you have? Mm-hmm. I was like, wait a minute, what? So I went on there. They have flashcards that you can print out. They have apps
like for free?
for free,
Like just
free.
oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're bilingual books. So I looked them up and I was like, this is really cool. She said that they've donated over 1 million books
Oh, wow.
across the country, and they've served over 100,000 Hispanic families. So
That's amazing.
I wanted to give them a little shout out. So thanks. And then the second pick is this movie I went to see this weekend with my baby.
With your baby?
I took him to the movies this weekend.
Which one did you see?
You know what? Because my husband and I love to go to the movies.
Uh-huh.
So my husband and I, we go to the Yard House and then we go to the movies. That's our thing. That's how we connect. That's our thing. Mm-hmm. And this time, we went to the Yard House with the baby, and then we're like, let's just go watch a movie, see what's there. And it was just I just felt so happy. I wanted to cry. I was like, oh, my 2 boys. And I'm here at the
that's so
movies
nice.
with my baby. He's sitting down eating popcorn. It's called Kubo and the Two Strings.
Oh, yeah, the kids movie. We haven't seen that one.
Oh,
no, wait. Have we? I don't know.
My
I haven't heard of that one.
God, you guys.
It's animated?
It's
Yes.
animated.
Okay.
It is an absolutely beautiful movie visually and story-wise. I was like, I am so happy that people are making these animated movies with these messages and these graphics, and it's not just because sometimes I have a hard time finding a movie that I want to show my kid. Zootopia I loved because it's Pixar, and I think Pixar can do no wrong, and I love everything they do, and the message is great.
The message was nice.
But I still kind of like it's still like very animated. And then the second movie that I've shown him is Karate Kid, and he absolutely loves that movie. And I'm okay. But then
the first one or the second?
The first one.
Okay.
The first,
the original.
With Mr. Miyagi, wax on, wax off. And like every time I go wax on, he goes yeah. He loves it. But this one, Kubo and the Two Strings, you guys. So good. Go watch it.
I heard something about that movie, and I think when you mentioned, it's very true. I think the guy that made it because he didn't see any good movies for his children.
Oh.
So then he was like, I'm going to make a cool movie for my kids. So
well,
he made that.
Well, damn, he did a good job. I completely, and even if you're not going with your kids, if you're going to date you and your boo, your bae, just go see it.
Really?
Just go see it. It's a really, really, really great film. It's a good film.
We will take her.
And you know how picky my husband and I could be with movies, so
yeah, they can be very
he was
picky.
really into it.
They can.
He said that we should start a new segment called Cinema Must, where we can critique movies.
I watched like Neighbors 2, and I thought it was great. So I would not be very good at that.
He was like, you guys should do a segment called Cinema Must, where you put your critique hat on and like you talk about like movies to watch. I'm like, that's not a bad idea, hun.
Yeah, you do like the really cool
indie kind of
movie.
I'm not like that though. My husband's more like that.
And I'd be like, guys,
I like those kind of movies.
let's watch
too.
Wedding Planner again and again.
Wedding Planner. I want to see a great film. It's called Neighbors 2. It's called Dirty Grandpa.
Dirty Grandpa,
starring Robert De Niro, and we all love Robert. We love De Niro.
The lightning was very intense.
The lighting, no lightning.
See? I would not be good at that. But thank you for the tip.
No, but Kubo.
Yeah.
Kubo is a good one.
I'll check it out. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Oh, I'm like, we should have more films like this for our children.
Wait, I have one last question for you because everybody keeps saying this. Is it true that when your kids get older, they want nothing to do with you?
It's true.
Oh, no. You know what? But like how?
Like at what age?
What do you mean? Like how did they not want anything to do with you? Like you had your daughter were kicking it right now. What are you talking about?
It totally depends on the child for sure.
Okay.
Because my first two boys, like they're like my bodyguards. They're always, always by me and stuff, and they're super loving. And then when my third son, he just turned 16. Like when he turned 13, he straight up like flipped the script on me and he was so cold to me, and he was like my baby and always would be snuggling, and he was just like, I remember one day I like put my hand, he had like paint on his pants, and I went to like scrape it off, and he's like, don't touch me. He like, moved my hand. I was like, he like got me like in the heart. Like how yeah, I did cry. I was in the car driving.
I totally
and I was like,
would have cried.
He doesn't love me anymore. It was awful. And my other son,
you should totally do that though. But
I think
you know what? Men are men. You're gonna be like, oh, you don't love me anymore. You're like, Mom, no, I do. Oh, God.
It's the age. It's like the teenage age, and I think they're just like going through all those hormones and stuff, and they got all these things going on. And my other son is like that. Is 14, where I just, I want to like sock him in the jaw sometimes. But my daughters aren't there yet. Like I can't, like I have to peel them off me like every day. But those two are in that like teenage boy stage, and I'm like, I'm like, do you know what I did for you when you were a baby?
Yeah,
I gave birth on the living room floor. And you don't want me to touch you and hug you and love you? That's horrible.
You peed on my face, and now you want me to wipe off paint on your like pants?
I know. And you can't imagine it, because when they're that, like I'm looking at that picture of you and your son. And you can't imagine that happening.
Oh, he does that to me now. So.
Does. Oh, does he?
Yeah, no, he pushes me away. Like, it's all about dad. Like,
he's like, you're smothering me, Mom.
Yo, he does. He's already like that.
Because I'm a total smother mother.
Yeah,
I'm like,
he doesn't cuddle with me.
Oh my God.
My kids fight for me. So.
Yes.
Yeah, they fight.
My kids still want to lay in the bed with me. Like, my sons will still come and like lay on our feet and everything. And I'm like, it is getting weird, dude. You're too big. Like, so I'm like, we need a barrier. Like, put the pillow right here, because you're just getting too old for this, Totally.
But do they massage your feet though, your kids?
Yes.
But see what I mean? Okay. See that? Okay, let's talk about the positives. I was telling you.
Oh, of having a lot of kids?
Yeah, like number one, you were always taken care of. I'm like, you do not need any sort of like what is that called? Retirement fund. You gotta check
kids.
from each one of them when they get older. Like,
I know.
how much is your check? And like, what time is my check gonna come in?
One of my sons is like, he's into soccer, and he wants to be like a professional soccer player. And I'm like, come through, professional soccer player. I will never have to do anything because you're gonna take care of your mommy. And
No, you already have to do anything.
Oh,
Are you
I don't
kidding me?
I don't touch a trash can. I don't wash dishes,
Oh.
laundry. I'm like, guys, I mean, I'll wash my own clothes, but I'm like, well, I'm washing nobody's clothes anymore. And groceries, I'll go grocery shopping. And then when I get home, I'm like, beep, beep, I honk. And then I just walk out of my car with my purse. I'm not carrying
That's
nothing.
so cool.
See what I'm saying? And then you were telling me that your kid gave you money for Starbucks.
Yeah, he does.
He
He's
was
like,
like-
can you drop me? Can you drop me off somewhere? Can I give you a ride, Mom? Okay. Or he asked me for a ride, and then he's like, I'll give you Starbucks. And I'm like, okay.
Ah, that's so
See what I
cool.
mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe I should have 3 more. Shit. And then at some point, I'm like, here, massage my feet.
Yeah,
Can you go get me that?
We had to
Can
go
you
to a
get me
soccer
that?
game on Saturday, and it was like 101 degrees. My son's like packed up the car with the Easy Up. They took the chairs, they took everything, and I'm just like walking with my water bottle. Like, yeah, that's what
That's
happens.
cool. That's cool. That's
see what
cool.
Sometimes it's good like that. Sometimes it's not. Where I'm just like, we have to go out to dinner, and I'm like, I gotta pay for all these kids. I gotta buy you shoes again because you made holes. Because he's like, one of my sons is a skater, and he like wears out the toe every like in a month or two. He wears out like brand new shoes, but there'll be like a hole right here on his little toe. And I'm like, I gotta buy you shoes again.
You're like, I'm gonna hide that.
How much
Let's see.
toilet paper? I mean, toilet paper, toothpaste, shampoo and conditioner, and
Costco.
and shavers. Like,
Oh, shavers.
Yeah.
You have
Shavers.
boys.
because
And
boys,
shavers are expensive.
Yes.
Because I look at the shavers my husband buys because he has.
they're like $30.
Yeah, they're $36.
Because my husband's bald. He shaves it bald, and they're like $30.
$36.99 if you get it through Amazon, not bald. Girl, trust me, I know that is. I'm like, hold up.
Yeah.
These are just like blades, okay? Like, come on. But he only needs to use those.
They're expensive.
But then when they're
Yeah.
like boys now don't like to be hairy ever anywhere. So they shave their legs,
You're like-
they shave their chest. Some of them do. And I'm just like, you guys are freaks. God gave you hair for a reason.
Oh, is
hair
that-
is supposed to protect you in places.
Wait. So that's a new thing? Kids are
Yes.
not.
like, they don't want to have any hair on their body at all. They're like, this is disgusting. And I'm like, it's hair, you freak. So their arms, legs, chest. Oh, probably some other places. I don't need to tell you.
Wait, how
Yes.
is it like that with for boys? How did you? Is it just tell your husband like, all right, you gotta go talk to that kid. Their sheets are all dirty. Like, how does that happen with 4 boys at home?
Oh no, I'm just like, I have to remind them. If I can see like a body outline on your sheets, it's time for you to wash them. So like when they were small, it was super easy for me. Like I had their drawers organized, their sheets, they had matching sheets and everything was all good. They had like duvet. Not anymore. Once they hit like the teenager stage, I'm like, I wash my hands of you. I can't do anything for you anymore. But they're responsible for their own sheets. Like I go in and I'm like, you gotta take care of this.
At what age did they
funky.
start like doing stuff for themselves, as far as like maybe like cooking and?
Oh, probably around 10.
Okay, 10.
Yeah,
okay.
like 9, 10.
We were talking about that.
We were talking about that the other day.
like
when do you
scrambled
leave them on their
eggs.
own?
Oh, geez.
Is there like a legal thing when you can leave them alone? Or?
No, I mean, I feel like super sketchy to leave like my 14-year-old there. I'm always like, are you okay, mijo? I'm gonna text you, make sure you're okay. But my younger daughters, I've left them like maybe twice for like 5 minutes. I go run to the store and like buy ice or water and then come back and I'm like, you guys are all right. I don't know. I don't feel like they don't need to be home alone. They can just go with me, But my older, I'd say like teenage years, like now I'm like, they're good,
And then when they can just start for themselves. So 9, 10 is when they're like, all right, you got to better yourself. Go make me breakfast.
Oh yeah, like my daughter is
Like, at what
11
point
now,
am
but she
I
can
not-
do scrambled eggs and sausage.
I'm
and
like, at what point am I not going to make breakfast anymore?
they know how to
That's
do
just
like
my thing.
chilaquiles. They can do quesadillas. I'm like, you're good.
Yeah.
If you can make quesadilla, you're good.
Hey, my 5-year-old already can serve herself cereal.
Yeah.
Oh.
Check on that. Check.
So you're still on the beginning stages, so you got to do.
I'm just
everything.
like thinking like, at what point are you going to be making me oatmeal and a scramble and like an omelet for breakfast?
Yeah.
And an omelet.
I make omelets for breakfast in the morning.
No, I know. But you're
So
like,
I'm like, at what point are you going to be making me an omelet?
Yeah.
I mean, they like 1.5.
I mean, they can do these things, but they still like me to do them. Mom, I like when you do them.
I know.
Because you do them with love. And I'm like, you're just lazy. All right, whatever.
All right, fine, but you'll massage my feet later. I'll trade you an omelet for a massage.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, here's a lotion. Get to my feet. Sometimes I have to bribe them with money and stuff, which is fine. I'll do that.
It's like work, right? It's
working.
You know what? I'm gonna send you should send
computer.
you should send one of their kids to like masseuse school, like for the weekend, so they can go.
That would be awesome.
You're so funny.
What? Like that's what mom and dad did to us. I mean, we didn't massage their feet, but we were like their.
We would
look at
always
this.
take
Look
their
at that.
shoes off.
Go that. Like my dad could, for the life of himself, never took his shoes off. Bricia, mis zapatos. I'm like.
Or like the remote was right there and they would call us all the way.
That's
and be like,
exactly.
"Pásame el control." I'm like, really?
That's
It's
what we
right
do.
there. But
That's what I did
now.
today. I was like, Mia, put my socks on. Help me with my shoes. Totally. My husband does that too. Get my headphones. Give me some water.
Yeah.
And it's like right there. We're like, come on, do it. That's like
That's the positive.
that's like a perk of parenthood. Totally.
All right.
Yeah.
I got 5 more to go. 5 more kids. All right. Thank you so much for being here.
It was
Thank
so fun.
you.
Oh my
for
God.
having
Thank you,
me.
Denise.
Yeah, this
Pear
was
Mama,
fun.
where can, I'm sure most people listening are going to be your fans, but for
Yay.
people who have never heard of you, where can they find you? How can they reach you?
Totally. I mean, I'm at Pear Mama everywhere. Okay, on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat.
PEARMAMA,
Yes.
Pear Mama, pearmama.com.
Yeah.
Check out her
Across-
website, guys. It's so cool. Like
Yeah,
her writing.
come and see
Everything.
what I got
Your
going
whole
on.
website is really
I
pretty.
love your website. I love your the
Do you do
design of
everything?
it. Good for you. Hey,
good.
girl.
Yeah.
You get it. Get
Thank
it.
you. Yeah, I've been doing this for 10 years. I will say I'm like an OG. I'm like an OG mom blogger. Been doing this for a long time, so it's fun.
Thank you.
It's been
Thank you
fun.
for being so
you.
vulnerable on your site too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you for that.
For the honesty.
Yeah. It's so refreshing to like, read realness and not like, oh, I'm perfect.
Oh,
So,
I could.
thank
you know
you.
what? Friends and family would not let me get away with that. They'd be like, no, girl, no.
Like, So thank you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. And you can also find us.
At _Super
To,
Mamás.
to all the Pear Mama fans who never heard about us.
Hi, guys. Hi. That's us. At _Super Mamás on Instagram and Twitter. Super Mamás Podcast on Facebook. And supermamaspodcast.com. Check us out. Follow us. Leave us a comment. Leave us a review. Subscribe on
Oh, yeah.
iTunes.
Could you subscribe and rate us not to the Pear Mama fans, because they're probably like, bitch, I just met you. But for our listeners, please, can you go on iTunes real quick? Make sure you're subscribe, and then rate us.
Yes.
And then tell a friend about
Tell a
us.
friend. Give us a
Okay?
5-star.
Give us 5 stars. Just go in there, put a review. If you don't know what to say, put a chicken leg emoticon. I'm all good with that. Put a cheese emoticon too. Doesn't matter. Put hearts.
Thumbs up.
Hard eyes.
Hard eyes. Yeah. 5 stars.
Cheers. Beers.
Cheers, beers. Cheers, beers, cheese.
Cheers.
And
Just not the caca emoji.
yeah.
Just not that.
yeah.
Not that one.
And share a friend. Tell a friend. Tell a
Yes,
friend.
tell a friend
Tell a
about
mom
us.
that you think would like to hear this episode, who is thinking about having 6 kids and who's
Yes.
doubting herself. Share this episode with a
You can
friend.
do it. You can do it.
You can
You
do it.
can do it.
Yeah.
Survive.
If Denise could do it, you could do it.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Oh, who wants to have a home birth? Anyway, share, okay? Thank you, guys. Denise, can I get a Super Mamás? Super Mamás.
Super mama.
Super Mamás. Bye.